Hello, what is up? My name is Vincent Baker, and I am so happy to have you here. Today, I'm going to do something I've never done before on the channel, and I'm super excited for it. We don't cover too much Yu-Gi-Oh on the channel. However, this is a gaming and anime channel, and Yu-Gi-Oh is both a game and an anime, so it fits, okay? So today, we're going to be diving into a 15-year-old Yu-Gi-Oh deck. I have not been playing in anything competitive or anything pretty much at all in the last 15 years as far as it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh. Now, on my stream on Twitch, which you should totally check out, we do group streams with a ton of friends, and we play Yu-Gi-Oh sometimes. That has been more of a recent development, and it's been more casual. However, I am getting more and more excited about Yu-Gi-Oh the more I look at it. I've been watching some YouTubers and stuff, like Sima, who's been doing an amazing job, and it's made me kind of feel the love of Yu-Gi-Oh that I once had. So I wanted to dive into my old Chaos deck, so we can see what it looked like from 13-year-old Vincent's perspective of building a Chaos deck, and I want your opinions on how this deck looked for back then. Now keep in mind, this is a 15-year-old deck, so it is it's not going to be up to snuff to today's standards, okay? But without further ado, let's dive in and have some fun, okay? So first up, we have, of course, my favorite card, the Blackluster Soldier Envoy at the beginning. This is a first edition. As soon as it came out in the set, I believe my dad may have gotten this for me, or maybe I traded for it. I don't remember, but I know that this card meant a lot to me, and it was my prized Yu-Gi-Oh card, and still is. And so, yeah, he has to be in the Chaos deck. Of course, Chaos Emperor Dragon was banned at the time, so we could not run that. But we have him. We have Mobius the Frost Monarch, which does not fit our Chaos strategy, but he is such a good tribute monster because he can destroy 2 set spell or trap cards, so he is very good. We also have Jinzo, which everyone was running at the time. He's also a first edition. I remember him being worth a lot of money back in the day. And we also have Chaos Sorcerer to help fill up our Chaos slots. And he's not quite as beefy as the Blackluster Soldier or the Chaos Dragon, but he's a very good card, especially for a common. A lot of people ran him back in the day, but that's all my tributes and that's all my special summons because I didn't want to be stuck with cards clogged in my hand, because that was a very real possibility that could happen if I ran anything more than that. For our light monsters, we have DD Warrior Lady, who was a staple at the time, even if you weren't running Chaos. It helps that she's a light monster, but her effect is super, super good, being able to banish both monsters. We have the White Ninja, which I think people may criticize me for. He has 1500 attack power, he's a light monster, and whenever he's flipped, you can destroy a defense position monster on the field. I thought he was a good way to get past some defensives for like burn and control decks, and he had a solid body and was a light monster to help fill that in. You have to also know that I was 13, so I didn't really have much money, so if there was a really expensive, better option, I may not have had access to it. But we do have Blade Knight, an amazing card. He could go up to 2000 attack power, I believe, if you have 1 or less cards in your hand, and also he stops flip effects whenever he kills monsters. He was super, super solid, and I really, honestly, like having 2 Blade Knights here might be better, but I love running singletons. That's just how I've always been. I love variety, even though it's not always the best for consistency. I understand that sometimes, especially in combo decks, you definitely need more than singles, but if I can play singles, I enjoy it. We have Mirage Dragon here. He has like a mini Jinzo effect, and he has 1600 tap power. He can ignore traps during battle. We have Magician of Faith, which I do believe was banned at the time. The reason why this is here is because, unfortunately, as I was quitting Yu-Gi-Oh, I was getting into Naruto, and I traded my Cyber Dragon, my Danzalug, and some other cards for Naruto cards, so I do believe that this is supposed to be a Cyber Dragon, so just envision that Magician of Faith as a Cyber Dragon. We have Freed the Brave Warrior. He was a card I really liked. I don't believe everyone played him, but he had 1700 attack power, which was pretty good at the time, and he had a very solid effect where he could remove stronger monsters. Magical Merchant's one of my favorite utility monsters that is light. And then we go into our dark monsters. I love Strike Ninja. I don't care what anyone says. He's a super fun card, and he had one of the only effects in the game that you could activate on your opponent's turn, being able to blink him out or phase him out and then bring him back if they tried to remove him. It was super useful. We also have Breaker the Magical Warrior. Again, I believe there's only one at the time, so I believe that this was a Danzalug, and I just put this one in as a placeholder. But yeah, I missed Danzalug, but Breaker the Magical Warrior might be my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card. He's just super solid. We have the Spirit Reaper, which is an amazing card. I love Spirit Reaper. He can't be destroyed in battle, and he can discard your opponent's cards from their hands whenever he deals battle damage. And then we have the Archfiend Soldier. who can just help fend off some of the more beatdown strategies or some of the more aggro cards. Just a super solid body, and he's a dart monster. We have the DD Survivor, which has a nifty effect where he can be special summoned again into play if he gets removed, or if he gets removed from the game, he comes back, which is nice. And he's 1800 and a dart monster. We have Nidoria, who kills things whenever he dies. And then for some of our non-chaos strategy monsters, we have the DD Assailant, who has a useful effect. We have Exiled Force, which can just pop one of their monsters, regardless of their strength or if they're face down. So a lot of useful things there. As for spells, we have Lightning Vortex. Regeke was banned at the time, so this was our next best thing. We had Mystical Space Typhoon, one of the best spell and trap card destruction cards in the game, at least at the time, because we couldn't run Harpy's Feather Duster, so we had to use MST. We had Nobleman of Crossout. This is a super solid card against a lot of decks if they're trying to be on the defensive, try to combo. There were actually mill decks at the time and burn decks, so being able to remove like a Needleworm and then get rid of all three of them really helps. We had Reinforcement of the Army. I love the utility of this card, being able to pick up our DD Warrior Lady, Strike Ninja, if we needed a Dark Monster, Exiled Force, Free the Brave Warrior. We had a lot of targets for this, so it was really nice to have it. We have Heavy Storm, which destroys all magic and trap cards on the field. We have Swords of Revealing Light, which was nice. This is a very defensive card, but it was one of my favorites in the game as a kid, and I just always thought it had a cool name and looked awesome. And it's a very good card, so I enjoyed it. We have Book of Moon, which is awesome because it could be used defensively or offensively, so I always really appreciated that about the card. And we have Scapegoat, of course, which was very popular and a very good card, very defensive, being able to set up your cards. Pot of Greed, I think, may have been banned at the time. I can't remember, but this may have been something else at the time. Magic Cylinder, very powerful card, negate their attack and bounce it back to them. Torrential Tribute, super awesome card, just wipe the field when a creature is summoned. We have Call the Haunted, one of my all-time favorite trap cards. It just looks so cool. I love the effect and the name and everything. It's just super awesome. Mirror Force, of course, everyone knows Mirror Force if they play Yu-Gi-Oh! One of the most powerful trap cards in the game. Then we have a double set of Sakuritsu armor to punish their attacks. We have two compulsories, which could be used offensively or defensively. So these are a little bit more flexible than the Sakuritsu armors, but they don't destroy a monster. So it's kind of evenly split if they're good or bad, or which one's better or worse. We have the Spell Shield Type 8, which is a very cool utility card that gives you two different options, which is pretty cool to use. We have Monster Gate, which I don't believe was in the original deck. Instead, I think that this was an enemy controller or brain control. But it got traded out, so just ignore that this says Monster Gate. And then the final card, you may hate me for, because you might think you know what it is, but it is not what you think it is in the Chaos deck. It is Return from the Different Dimension. So this is the common variant of the super rare card, which name I'm forgetting, but the card that most people ran is you pay 2,000 life points to bring back, I think it's both players, bring back all of their removed from play monsters. I preferred this. I hated that this was a trap card and that was a spell card because it made it harder to pull this one off as soon as you needed it sometimes. But you could always pull it off if you were at 2,000 or less life points. And I believe the other one works for both players, and a lot of people were running Chaos at the time. So a lot of times you could have a dead card in your hand that you couldn't even play, and if you could play it, you would both bring back monsters, whereas this one only brings it back for you. All right, let me read this just to make sure. Let's see. Yeah, special summon as many of your monsters. Yeah, so I got that right. So this worked purely for you, and I was playing a casual game the other day, and I was at 100 life points. I was able to play this card, go down to 50, and win the game because of this card. So I have a special place in my heart for this. I know you may argue with me saying that this card sucks or this card's way worse, but this card has come in clutch for me, and everyone else I played with refused to play it, but I did really good with this card at the time. Now, with the current meta and everything, of course, things are way different. I don't think this card would, like both cards probably aren't that good, but this card would definitely suffer way more, I think, in the current meta from what I understand in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, I have not played in the current meta, so I don't know, but from what I can tell, I think this card has taken a bigger hit than the other card because it's a trap card that has some of those flaws. But anyways, that is my Chaos deck. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you think that I sucked as a 13-year-old deck builder. And keep in mind, I built that myself. Like, I didn't, at the time, we didn't really net deck. I don't think like, of course the internet was around, but anytime I saw decks, it was in magazines, and it just wasn't a thing to like go search online, or at least as a 13-year-old it wasn't. Maybe some adults did that, but it wasn't a thing. I just knew that Chaos, I knew Chaos was a deck, you know, because I did play in tournaments, local tournaments, and I knew people were running similar cards, and of course I saw what people were playing and things like that, so I had like informed decisions. But as far as like me choosing to add like the DD Survivor and the White Ninja, Strike Ninja, Freed, I'm pretty sure those were uncommon picks, and those were like my personal touches and my personal choices I added to the deck. Anyways, I had a lot of fun. I remember playing a revamped Dark World deck back in 2012. This guy challenged me in college, and he said there's no way that your deck can hold a candle to this one. And I actually beat him, and he got really upset. So that was a good highlight for me, and that was like the last time I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Against like someone that I didn't know as well. But yeah, so yeah, I'm getting excited about Yu-Gi-Oh! If you want to see me do one of these like kind of deck techs on my 15-year-old decks, let me know, because I do have a Gravekeeper deck. I have a Dark World deck before, like just from the first set of Dark World cards, and I have a Dark Magician deck. So if you like to see those, let me know. I'll do a video covering those, and we can kind of have fun, pick apart the decks, and see what those are all about. And if there's a way to revamp this Chaos deck, let me know, especially with some modern cards. I know that Chaos is not in the meta, but if there's some tweaks and changes we can make to make it better, let me know, or maybe I'll just keep it GOAT format. So yeah, we'll see. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet, go ahead and jump into our Discord. It's not a Yu-Gi-Oh! Centric Discord, but it is gaming and anime. So, bless me. It's not Yu-Gi-Oh! Centric, so if you're just about Yu-Gi-Oh! Nothing else, then it's not the Discord for you. But if you love games, if you love anime, we have over 600, or we're right at 600 members, so we'd love to have you. It's a lot of fun. We're a very welcoming community, so go ahead and jump on in there. And also jump over on our Twitch channel, where we'll be playing some Yu-Gi-Oh! We'll be playing some video games, we'll be playing all kinds of stuff. And I got some really, really cool stuff in the works that you will not want to miss out. So be sure to subscribe to see that. Take care. As always, stay awesome.
The video's over, but this was made by our Patreons.
We really appreciate what you've done for us, and we'd appreciate it if you'd continue following us further at patreon.com/VindicatedEntertainment.
Yeah, you guys. Be sure to check out some more of our videos, okay? Bye.
That was
Bye.